Developing tonight, a federal judge ruled Friday that Hillary Clinton must answer written questions from Judicial Watch, a conservative government watchdog group that filed a lawsuit over her private email server. Here with reaction, former United States Attorney General and federal judge Michael Mukasey. Good evening, Judge. Now, I want to talk to you about a bunch of stuff. Oh, you call me Judge. That's so nice. Thank you. All right, Judge. So I have a bunch of issues. We're going to move quickly. So the judge orders her to answer questions about her emails, but I was just reading it's not oral. She's got to respond in writing, but he gave the group until October 14th to give her the questions, and then she has 30 days to answer them, so this is all after the election.
Right. And also, given the fact that she's answering them in writing, obviously lawyers are going to go through this and craft the language and draft the language and do all the things that lawyers do to the language. So it's not quite as good as getting it orally.
All right, but it's kind of interesting that the group is also seeking the details of Huma Abedin's relationship with the State Department that permitted her to do outside work while she was a top aide with Hillary Clinton, which brings me to my next subject, so much to talk to you about, Judge, which is that so-called wall between the Clinton Foundation and the State Department. Now, I asked myself, and I said to myself, now, if there is this MOU that's signed between Bill Clinton of the Clinton Foundation when Hillary Clinton first took the job as Secretary of State, that there would be this wall between the foundation and the State Department, how is it that someone who's working for the State Department is getting paid by the foundation? I mean, that is the antithesis of a wall, is it not?
Well, it's the antithesis of a wall as you understand it and as I understand it, but apparently the way other folks understand it, a wall has doors and windows and a whole lot of other openings in it.
And obviously direct deposit in a wall. Correct. But okay, Judge, and I want to hear what you have to say about it. But when Senator Grassley wrote a letter to find out about it, he got a response from someone saying that the Chairman Grassley had unfairly tarnished Miss Abedin's reputation. Meanwhile, Miss Abedin is getting paid by the State Department, by the Clinton Foundation, and Teneo. Teneo is that, you know what Teneo is.
Is Bill Clinton's company.
Yeah, it's his buddy. And by the way, Bill Bratton, who just brought Hillary Clinton to the NYPD, is going to work for Teneo. So, elaborate.
Imagine the coincidence.
But Judge, that is not. Why are they not pursuing this?
Well, they have to. This only came to light relative. You say they pursuing it. You mean Judicial Watch?
Judicial Watch, the FBI. If any local elected official had a staffer that was on 3 different salaries with an agency where there was a direct conflict of interest, forget about the appearance of a conflict of interest, everybody around them would be indicted for corruption, public corruption.
Well, there would certainly be questions asked, and they would be pursued. But as we know, the rules appear to be, and the results appear to be, different in the case of a Clinton.
Okay. All right. So then let's move on to reports on Preet Bharara, the United States Attorney for the Southern District of New York, the most highly esteemed of all of the districts in the United States. There are reports that he is investigating the Clinton Foundation. Wouldn't be surprising. I mean, he is an individual who is very aggressive and has done some pretty serious cases, has an excellent conviction rate. Would it be unheard of for a United States attorney to go after a case like this when it's clear that the United States attorney, the Attorney General, I should say, from whom they would need a permission to go forward, is not likely to give that permission?
Yes, it is. There is precedent for it. When Whitney North Seymour was U.S. attorney, he pursued Mitchell and Stans and others who were members of the Nixon administration, notwithstanding that John Mitchell was the Attorney General at the time.
So the rule, so-called rule, where if you're going after someone who's running for office, you need permission from justice, doesn't preclude an aggressive prosecutor from going into a grand jury and getting an indictment.
Not at all. In fact, that rule is simply a cautionary rule. It's one that is not it's not airtight. It doesn't mean you can't seek an indictment. And he doesn't have to necessarily go after her. He can go after others in the foundation.
Interesting. Judge Mukasey, thanks so much for being with us this evening.
Thank you.
All right. And still ahead, my opening statement, what have Democrats done for the minorities? I'll tell you, that's next.